Welcome to Daily English Listening. In today's video, we're going to listen to 25 real English success stories that prove anyone can become fluent. Perhaps you feel stuck, even though you have studied English for years, through school, private teachers, textbooks, and apps. You understand the grammar rules, but when it's time to actually speak, your mind goes blank. When someone speaks quickly, you can't keep up. When you try to express yourself, the words won't come out naturally. You're wondering, will I ever really be fluent? After 30 years teaching English to over 40 million students, I've seen this struggle thousands of times. Here's what I want you to know. Fluency is absolutely possible for you. I'm not talking about some special gift or language genius. I'm talking about regular people, working parents, busy professionals, college students, who went from struggling beginners to confident English speakers. These people are from Brazil, Japan, Italy, Spain, Egypt, India, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and everywhere else. In this video, I'm sharing 25 real success stories from students who achieved English fluency. These aren't made-up testimonials or perfect polyglots. These are real people who faced real challenges and found ways to break through. You'll see the methods they used, how long it took, and what obstacles they overcame. Sometimes you just need proof that it can be done. Let me show you. Let's explore the truth about English fluency that schools won't tell you. Before we dive into the stories, I need to set something straight. Most of these students failed with traditional methods first. They studied grammar for years, memorized vocabulary lists, and got good test scores. But they still couldn't speak. Why? Schools teach English the wrong way. They focus on rules and memorization instead of real communication. The students who became fluent did something different. They listened to real English every day, and they learned phrases and sentences, not just individual words. They practiced speaking without worrying about perfection. They used English in real situations, not just textbooks, and they stayed consistent, even when progress felt slow. That's it. No magic tricks, just the right method applied consistently. Now, let's look at the stories. First, we look at students who broke through language barriers, starting with Ahmed from Egypt, who went from textbook English to a tech leader. Ahmed studied English in school for 10 years. He could read textbooks and knew grammar rules. But when he tried to speak in real situations, nothing came out naturally. He felt embarrassed at work. His colleagues spoke English confidently in meetings, but Ahmed stayed silent, even with good ideas. So what did he change? Ahmed stopped studying grammar. Instead, he used language apps for 20 minutes every morning, focusing on conversation, not rules. He also joined tech meetups where he had to speak English. He watched tech YouTube videos and repeated the speakers, and found a conversation partner online. The first few months were tough. He made mistakes constantly, but he kept going. Within 2 years, Ahmed worked for a multinational tech company. Now he leads international teams and gives presentations in English. His secret? He stopped trying to be perfect and started trying to communicate. Next up is Maria from Brazil, who shows how just 15 minutes a day changed everything. Maria felt frustrated every time she tried to express herself in English. She knew what she wanted to say in Portuguese, but the English words wouldn't come out right. She'd pause, search for words, and eventually give up. This affected her confidence at work. She avoided speaking in meetings because she was afraid of making mistakes. Her breakthrough. Maria made one simple change. She practiced English for just 15 minutes every single day. No marathon study sessions, no grammar drills, just 15 minutes of real English practice. She switched her phone and computer to English. She also watched Brazilian TV shows dubbed in English, so she knew the story but heard the dialogue. Maria listened to English podcasts during her commute and wrote short journal entries in English about her day. The key was consistency, every single day. After 6 months, she noticed she could think in English without translating. After a year, she felt comfortable speaking in meetings. Now Maria leads presentations in English at an international marketing firm. Small daily habits beat big occasional efforts every time. Let's talk about Yuki from Japan, conquering culture and language. Yuki moved to the United States for work. She spoke some English, but understanding Americans in real conversations was a nightmare. People talked fast, used slang, and made cultural references she didn't understand. She felt isolated and frustrated. What strategies helped Yuki achieve success in English? Yuki realized that learning culture was as important as learning the language. She joined conversation groups focused on idioms and slang. She also volunteered at community events to meet native speakers in relaxed settings. Furthermore, she watched and rewatched American sitcoms to understand the humor she initially missed. Crucially, she began asking coworkers to explain cultural references instead of just pretending to understand them. This comprehensive approach allowed her to grasp the context behind the language, which is essential for true fluency. Within 18 months, Yuki gained enough confidence to lead team meetings and engage in small talk with her colleagues. Her advice for English learners is, don't just learn words, learn how people actually use them in real life. Now let's explore the success story of international student Carlos from Spain. He transitioned from tourist English to mastering business negotiations. Carlos had a small business in Spain and initially only knew basic tourist English for simple tasks like ordering food or asking for directions. However, when his business needed to expand internationally, his basic English skills were no longer sufficient. He needed to write professional emails, negotiate with suppliers, and present at trade shows, tasks his current English proficiency couldn't handle. So how did Carlos successfully level up his English skills for the business world? Carlos enrolled in a business English course. More importantly, he hired a specialized coach familiar with his specific industry. Every day he practiced writing professional emails that his coach corrected. He also listened to business podcasts while driving to improve his listening skills. He attended international trade shows, pushing himself to network in English, and recorded his presentations, watching them back to identify areas for improvement. The breakthrough came when he stopped translating in his head. He started thinking directly in English for business topics. Now, Carlos negotiates deals with clients in the UK, US, and Australia. His business revenue tripled after he became confident in English. His takeaway? English isn't just a language. It's a business tool that opens global markets. Next, let's look at the story of Priya from India, who went from a shy team member to a confident leader. Priya worked in tech support in Chennai. She understood English well and could write clearly. But speaking was different. She felt shy during team calls, and her accent made her self-conscious. As a result, she stayed quiet in meetings, even when she had valuable input to share. For her transformation, Priya joined an online speaking group specifically for non-native speakers, creating a safe practice space without judgment. She also practiced speaking out loud daily, used speech-to-text tools for pronunciation clarity, and recorded herself to identify improvements. She started with small contributions in meetings, then gradually spoke more as her confidence grew. The confidence developed gradually. After 3 months of daily practice, she felt comfortable enough to share her ideas in team meetings. After a year, she was leading those meetings. Now Priya manages an international team and conducts training sessions in English. Her advice? Don't wait to feel ready. Start speaking now. Even if it's imperfect, that's how you get ready. Let's explore more career breakthroughs, starting with Chen from China, customer service to team supervisor. Chen worked in customer service. While he handled emails well, phone calls and meetings were extremely stressful for him. He missed out on promotions because his managers didn't think his English was strong enough for leadership roles. That disappointment was a major turning point for Chen. Chen enrolled in the Power English program and committed to the system, listening to audio lessons every day during his commute. He answered mini-story questions out loud and practiced with a native speaker conversation partner twice a week. Crucially, he stopped worrying about perfect grammar and focused instead on clear communication. After 6 months of consistent practice, he noticed a significant change. He could speak without translating in his head first. After a year, his manager recognized his improved English and promoted him to team supervisor. Now Chen confidently leads meetings, trains new employees, and handles client escalations, all in English. His secret was stopping the attempt to sound like a textbook and starting to sound like a real person. Our next success story is Fatima from Saudi Arabia, who focused on building a global business. Fatima ran a successful local business but aimed to reach customers worldwide. The challenge was her English, which wasn't good enough for writing product descriptions, answering global inquiries, or handling international shipping. Fatima realized English was key to scaling her business. She hired a tutor specializing in business English. She practiced writing product descriptions, getting feedback, and listened to business English podcasts to build professional vocabulary. She also joined online seller communities where all communication was in English. The hardest part of her job was answering customer questions clearly and quickly. At first, it took her 20 minutes to write a simple response. But with practice, she got faster and more natural. Within 18 months, Fatima's sales tripled. She now ships products to over 20 countries and communicates confidently with customers worldwide. Her advice? Don't wait until your English is perfect to start your business. Use your business to improve your English. Here are the methods that actually work. You've seen the stories. Now let's break down the common strategies these successful students used. They all did similar things, even though they didn't know each other. That's how you know these methods actually work. The first strategy. They listened every single day. Every successful student made listening a daily habit, not once a week or only when they had time. It was every single day. They listened to podcasts during commutes and watched TV shows and movies, sometimes with subtitles, sometimes without. They also watched YouTube videos about topics they loved and listened to audiobooks and audio lessons. Why does this work? Because listening is how your brain learns to speak naturally. You absorb patterns, pronunciation, and natural rhythm. Think about babies. They listen for over 2 years before speaking a single word. Then suddenly, speech just emerges. Adults work the same way. Listening comes first. Speaking follows naturally. Strategy number 2. They learned phrases, not individual words. A common mistake beginners make is memorizing individual words like book, table, or beautiful. But that's not how real English works. Successful students learned phrases and full sentences, such as, I'm going to the store, or that sounds like a great idea. They also learned functional phrases like, I'm not sure I understand, or could you say that again? This works better because phrases give you grammar, vocabulary, and natural pronunciation all at once. You don't have to think about grammar rules. Native speakers talk in chunks and phrases, and so should you. Strategy number 3. They practiced speaking without fear. The biggest obstacle is the fear of making mistakes, and every successful student had to overcome this fear. They did this by finding safe spaces to practice, like online groups or patient friends, and by accepting that mistakes are normal. They focused on communication, not perfection, and started small with one-on-one chats before moving to bigger groups. Here's the truth. Native speakers make mistakes all the time. We use fragments, break rules, and mispronounce words. Communication matters, perfection doesn't. Successful students stopped trying to be perfect and started trying to connect. Strategy number 4. They used real English, not textbooks. Textbooks teach fake English, like, hello, how are you? I am fine, thank you. And you? Real people don't talk like that. Successful students learn from movies and TV shows, YouTube videos, podcasts, interviews, and real conversations with native speakers. They heard how people actually speak, with phrases like, hey, what's up? Good, you? Not bad, or kinda tired. That's real English. That's what you need to learn to be fluent. Strategy number 5. They stayed consistent, even when progress felt slow. Here's the hardest truth. English fluency takes time. Most students needed 1 to 3 years of consistent practice to reach fluency. The key word is consistent. They practiced 15 to 30 minutes every single day, even when they felt tired, when progress seemed slow, or when they got busy with work or family. Small daily habits beat big occasional efforts every single time. 20 minutes a day for a year beats 3 hours once a week. Commit, don't quit. Now let's discuss common obstacles and how to overcome them. Learning English is hard. Here are the most common obstacles students faced and how they broke through. Obstacle number 1. I'm too old to learn. The truth is, adults bring advantages kids don't have, such as better study habits and clearer goals and motivation. You also have life experience that helps you understand context and the ability to focus and practice deliberately. Adults can learn faster when they use the right methods. Age is not your enemy, bad methods are. Obstacle number 2. I don't have time. The solution is not about finding hours, it's about consistency. Every successful student found small pockets of time to practice English. These small pockets include listening to podcasts or audiobooks during commutes and listening to English while walking or running during exercise. Other opportunities are watching English videos during meals and taking 15 minutes for listening or reading before bed. If you spend 30 minutes on social media, consider using 15 of those minutes for English instead. Small changes can lead to big results. Obstacle number 3 is the fear of making mistakes. The mindset shift is to realize that mistakes mean you're learning. Successful students made hundreds, maybe thousands, of mistakes. They mispronounced words, used wrong tenses, and said things that sounded weird. And people still understood them. Students who succeeded accepted mistakes as a natural part of the process. They even learned to laugh at their errors. Start small and practice in safe spaces to gradually build confidence. Then, when you're ready, speak more publicly. The fear will fade. Obstacle number 4 is the belief that you don't have anyone to practice with. The internet changed everything. You can easily find conversation partners online. Consider language exchange apps, where you teach your native language and they teach English, or utilize online tutoring platforms. You can also join English conversation groups on social media and forums or communities where people chat in English. You can even practice alone by talking to yourself in English while doing daily tasks or recording yourself speaking and listening back. You can also practice by reading out loud and narrating your day in English. There's always a way to practice. You just have to look for it. Let's now consider the role of motivation, why some students quit and others succeed. After 30 years of teaching, I've noticed that students who succeed have strong, personal reasons for learning English. It's not just about English being useful or a school requirement. It's something much deeper than that. Successful students wanted English because it would help them get better jobs and support their families. It would also let them study abroad and build better futures. Furthermore, it would allow them to connect with people around the world and give them confidence, opening new opportunities. When your reason is strong and personal, you stick with it, even when it's hard and when progress is slow. What's your reason? Write it down, remember it, and come back to it when you feel like quitting. That reason will carry you through. We are now moving on to the real benefits that go beyond language. Every successful student said English changed their life in ways they didn't expect. Yes, they secured better jobs and advanced in their careers, but they also made lifelong friendships with people from other countries and gained confidence in other areas of life. They felt more connected to the world and discovered new interests and opportunities. They also became role models for their children and communities. Learning English doesn't just improve your language skills. It changes how you see yourself and your place in the world. That's the real transformation. Let's now consider what you should do right now. Don't just read these stories and forget about them. Take action today. Here's what I want you to do. First, set one clear goal. Do not just say, improve my English. Be specific. Here are some examples of small, achievable goals. Have a 10-minute conversation with a native speaker by next month. Another example is, listen to English for 20 minutes every day for the next 30 days. The second key step is to start listening every day. Find one podcast, YouTube channel, or audiobook that you genuinely enjoy. Listen to it every single day, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Make it a part of your daily routine, while having your morning coffee, commuting, or before bed. Third, find one way to practice speaking. This can start with just talking to yourself, or look for a conversation partner online. You can also join a speaking group or record yourself speaking. The important thing is to start, because imperfect action always beats perfect planning. Fourth, stop studying grammar. Seriously, put away the grammar books and stop memorizing rules. Grammar study often hinders your speaking ability. Instead, focus on listening, learning common phrases, and real communication. Fifth, get the right system. If you're serious about fluency, you need a proven method to guide your learning. That's why I created Power English, a complete, natural learning system based on how your brain actually acquires language. It involves no grammar rules, no textbooks, and no memorization. It focuses on daily listening, real stories, and natural methods that truly work. Now, let's look at the bottom line. These 25 stories prove one thing. English fluency is possible for anyone willing to use the right methods and stay consistent. You don't need to be young, nor a language genius, nor do you need years of formal education. You just need the right methods, which include listening, phrases, and real English, along with daily practice for 15 to 30 minutes. You also need the courage to speak imperfectly and a strong reason to keep going. People like Ahmed, Maria, Yuki, Carlos, Priya, Chen, and Fatima weren't special. They were regular people with jobs, families, and busy lives. They just refused to quit. You can do the same. Your fluency story starts today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Today. Take the first step. Commit to daily practice, trust the process, and one day, sooner than you think, you'll look back and realize you became fluent. Commit, don't quit. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and please subscribe.